What's up, muscle car people? This is Brand Muscle Cars and I'm Matt. So, you've already watched the YouTube call out video. You saw that we ran okay, not quite. We have not reached our goals for this year, in the sense that the goal was basically very low 9-second pass to an 8-second pass. But just to make it to the YouTube call out, we had some trouble. Let's just say every weekend that I've had the car back, I raced it every chance I could. There was only one weekend we didn't race. That was because every track was shut down because of the bracket racing finals. So there was no racing that weekend. You saw the first video where I took it and we went 8th mile racing. Went back 2 weekends later, did some more racing. Every pass the car was getting faster and faster. I was launching higher and higher. The times kept getting better. The miles per hour kept improving. So I'm going to post those slips, and I only have a few of the videos because everybody didn't come with me, so I didn't have people videotaping. So let's watch those races. On that last race, you can see that my buddy Devin, his car actually broke. The rear end rotated up, drive shaft broke, the whole rear end is basically shot. He's actually going to buy the rear end out of mine or buy a 9-inch. So we'll see what way he goes. But either way, we're going to get a 9-inch for next year, so we don't have to worry about issues like that. Also, the car was running better, but on the last pass it felt like I didn't have any brakes. And well, like I had brakes, I was just worried about stopping, and my miles per hour were not that much higher, but the track is very short. Like the stopping area is short, but we stopped and we were okay. When I went to unload the trailer the next day, I guess it was, or 2 days later, I had no brakes. Like my foot went all the way down to the pedal. One of the lines loosened up and drained out all the brake fluid to the front of the car. So I had no front brakes. Luckily the converter is so big that it slows you down regardless, like much more than a regular transmission. It really slows you down. So we didn't die. I was able to get it to the shop and not die. And Kenny and we fixed it. And over the course of the next week, I installed the ice box, which you watched the videos. We put in more brake fluid. And then that Saturday, we were going racing, because that's what we built this for, to go racing as much as possible. We were going to Beaver Springs for the very first quarter-mile pass we were going to make in the new setup. So everything is running good. It's kind of early in the morning. We go to load the car up, and the stupid exhaust catches on the trailer ramp and comes off. So we're struggling with that. We get it fixed, we get the car loaded up, and then we go racing. And it was very light sprinkling on and off. And it's towards the end of the season, like this is their last weekend open, so they were packed, like packed. I've never seen it that busy. Normally you can go there and you can just hop that over and over and over again and get as many passes as you want. They were packed that day. So not much we could do. We got 2 passes in. The first pass, it was by far the best pass we've made so far. It was really smooth. The launch was, I don't know, 4,000 RPMs, somewhere around there. And unlike the 8th mile track, the 8th mile track is okay, not great, it's okay, but like it was always pulling on the launch at the 8th mile, going to one side or the other, depending on which lane I was in. Beaver Springs, whoosh, took off like a rocket. Like, I mean, it was just straight, smooth, consistent. I get down at the end of the track, the other guy had broke. I get down to the end of the track, I'm like, man, that was a good run. That was a really good first run. Stopped, no problem. Thought I was worried I might die, but we stopped, no problem. I'm like, man, because all the numbers from the 8th mile track are saying, oh, I'm gonna run like 135 to 140. Just under 150, and I let off because we were basically at 7,000 RPMs. I let off right before the finish line, and we were just under 150. It was 149 and some change. And the time was 9.9 something. I was pretty happy with that. First 9-second pass, again, my miles per hour in the 8th mile, improved, and overall the car was faster. Again, every pass it was getting faster. So I had no complaints. That's all I was asking for, because I know the car is much faster than what it's been going. And Beaver Springs is normally 0.4 of a second slower than some of the other tracks when they prep well, like Cecil and Maple Grove and Mason-Dixon. So I'm thinking 9.9. I go to Maple Grove the next week, I'm gonna run like a 9.6 minimum. You know, the very next pass, launch is even better. My best 60 foot. So that was a 158, something like that, somewhere around there. And then first gear, super solid all the way through. First time, in like on that 9.9, I have a tendency, I don't know why, I'm anticipating and I'm short shifting first gear into second. Well, so this time stayed right in it, right until the end, go into second, and then all of a sudden RPMs jump. And I let out. At that point, then I let out. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like something is wrong. I didn't know what it was. We had to leave. It was getting late, and I only got 2 passes in. The lines are long. And we unload the car. I'm trying to drive it down the street, and all of a sudden it won't move. And like just won't go. It's revving up, just won't go. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. Like, seriously, got to be kidding me. So we get the car. We had to push the car and we put a bunch more fluid in it because the fluid was low again, and we put a bunch more fluid in it. It caught a little bit. We were able to get it almost all the way up the ramp, and then I pushed it the rest of the way, and Kenny used the straps and winched it in basically. And we get it home, and the fluid, we drain the fluid. It's basically black and smells burnt. So we find a good trans guy. So this is like, we're working on it Sunday. We're changing the fluid on Sunday, and the YouTube call out is Monday. And I'm leaving for work. I travel for work, and I'm leaving on Monday. So the fluid is just straight black, and we put all new fluid in it. The car will not move after that, still won't move. So Kenny works like a couple hours calling people, seeing what we can do. I call Drummond to find out the specs on the transmission and the torque converter. We find a local trans guy. He says, he's like, Kenny finds a good local trans guy. He's like, I can get it done for you by Friday. As long as we can get all the parts, we can get it done. So the converter is a Trans Specialty, and they're out of Pennsylvania. They're actually just south of Philadelphia, which is a couple hours from me. And so he took the transmission apart. The transmission is a Performance. I had burnt the second and third clutch packs up, and then a sprocket too. So like, he went through the whole thing, fixed all that. Let's just say the transmission is a Pro Mod transmission. It shouldn't break. The converter is a spragless converter, and depending on what you read and see and talk to people, some people will say they're fine on the street. Other people will say no, they get too hot. Mine got too hot. Apparently my transformer is not big enough, but even if it was, it still probably wouldn't cool it enough. So we sent the converter out just to have it reworked to make sure. I mean, it's got like no miles on it. I've barely driven it. It's been a month, and they rebuild it. I get there Friday. It wasn't done, but they're like, listen, we'll take it apart. We'll see if we can get it done. So they're like, just hang out for a couple hours, go down, get something to eat, come back, and we'll call you when we're done. And so they get it done for me, which is awesome. They basically finish it, do the whole thing Friday afternoon. And I was asking them questions, and I was telling them what happened to the transmission. And the guy goes, whoa, hold up. You were driving this on the street? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, no. You can't drive this on the street. This is a Pro Mod converter. You probably shouldn't even drive it around the track. You know, you push the car. And I'm like, I don't have any choice. I gotta run it. I just won't drive it on the street. So pretty much she's stuck the way she is for now. Like, I can move her around, but I'm not gonna drive the car on the street until I get a new converter over the winter. If you have any recommendations, or I need to learn a lot more. Like, I'm very upfront about that. So like, I gotta learn more about the converters and that stuff. Let me know. But for now, that's the update. I'm shocked that we even made it to the YouTube call out. The car got done. It was Friday. I guess the converter got done on Thursday. The car got done Friday at like 4 o'clock. We picked the car up, and then we basically went racing the next morning. We loaded it up and we just went racing. And it's kind of weird, I think, from if you watch the video where all the trans fluid was on the ground. I think I probably broke the transmission the very first day I had it, which is awful. I mean, it's like $10,000-$12,000 transmission, converter, all that stuff. So like I probably broke it the day I brought it home from JBC. It was weird because the whole car was just much smoother after getting the trans rebuilt, which I guess is just because I had been driving it broken the whole time. I probably broke it the very first day. It was still working, it just got worse and worse, so I was just used to it the way it was. It is what it is. The car is running. The car is running smooth. I'm just gonna go and get a different converter. I did not have time to do it and be ready for the YouTube call-out. So that's the update. That's what we had to do before we could go to the call-out. So if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, because we are going to do a lot of stuff over the winter, and we're going to do a lot of stuff ourselves. We're going to see just how much more, because we got more stuff coming. And next time you see the car, it will be unloading at the shop, and we'll do a video on what our plans are for the winter and for next year. So stay tuned, guys, and remember, if you're like me and you got a fast car, you better bring it. Thanks, guys.